con. Will, and I said, you know what? He always looking like he don't know what's what. He look like he don't know what's going on. The same way he was looking when he found out she was alive is the way he was acting on today's episode. He just sit up there looking how he was looking. He just sit up there looking how he was looking. Hold on. But yeah, like I said, well, Will is good as con, and he always looking like he don't know what's what. Luna was telling him how the stress can't be good for the baby. You know, she got attacked and everything. They remember her from last time. And not to mention the doctor. I was like, don't y'all got protocol or something? She over here calling Will and stuff. I was like, she about to get out. She about to get out. But yeah, she was telling him how the stress can't be good for the baby. I said, Will, don't fall for it. But he just sitting up there, you could tell. Just look at him. Go back and watch that scene and look how he was acting. But Will and Letra was just talking about Luna trying to play Bill, and now she's trying to play Will. The inmate was trying to make sure that Luna didn't tell what she did. Remy still didn't tell Dick about Letra. Steffi ended up stopping by to check on Taylor. Sheila tried to get Deacon to come home, but he's still not ready. And the last thing is that Taylor told Deacon that Sheila paid her a visit. But hey, y'all. Welcome back to another review of Life of Chess. This for the Bold and Beautiful October 22nd, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What y'all think y'all like the episode. Not too much went on. Same old same. I just wish that they had a way to see what this girl be doing. Because ain't no way y'all gonna go with the same storyline getting her out of jail again. Come on now. But yeah, maybe they can move her to another room or something. I hope her plan don't work, but we'll see, y'all. But yeah, on today's new episode of Bold and Beautiful, they start with Will and Letra. Will ends up telling Letra that no one is getting Luna out of prison this time and how she tried to con and play Bill or whatever. And he's not falling for it. I said, but are you? But are you? He may not have fell for it this time, but are you? Like, I don't know. We'll see. Luna and the inmate was talking or whatever, and she was telling her how messed up her eye is. She was like, you want me to do the other one? She was like, you want me to do the other one? And she was like, no, whatever. She said that's enough to get her some attention. So she assures the inmate that she won't tell anybody about what she did, but you can't believe her. I said all she would have to do is tell that she told her to hit her. They should be able to believe she is a psychopath. But yeah, Remy ends up telling Deke not to mention him at the office, and he wants to know why. Might as well get them out the way. He wants to know why, and he started. I thought he was actually finna tell him. He did not. I said, now what if he slip up and say Remy's name, and that's when Electra ends up telling him. You're supposed to beat people to the punch. You're supposed to tell before somebody else get the opportunity to tell. But yeah, and I think he started to say something happened or whatever. He was like, with you in the forces or whatever. And that's when he ends up getting alerted. I think, who takes him? I forgot. Oh, they let him know about the traffic. He got an update about the traffic, and he was like, he got to go. So that's when he ends up leaving or whatever. So Remy didn't tell Dilly freaking Squad. I said, the truth going to come out, sir. The truth is definitely going to come out. Deacon and Electra, they was just talking about work and how she was when she first got there and stuff like that. He ends up seeing that something's wrong or whatever because she was talking about her work. She don't think it's gonna be as good because she distracted. That's when she ends up saying it's about Will and Aluna or whatever, but they never got to fully dive into it. I'm assuming they're gonna talk about it on tomorrow's episode. But yeah, let's see. Steffi ends up stopping by the office. She ends up hugging her mom and stuff like that. She ends up saying how it's terrible that Ridge went back to Brooke. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. But Taylor was saying how she just wants to move on. But then she started talking about how she was just so certain or whatever that, you know, they was gonna work out this time. And then Steffi, what she said, she don't like that, you know, Taylor was blindsided or something about Taylor being blindsided. How? And everybody keeps saying that it was the whole situation where she almost died or whatever. No, it wasn't. He was in the office telling this lady he need her help staying committed to Taylor. How you, if you really want somebody, ain't nobody gonna be able to, you don't need nobody help staying committed. If you need somebody else staying committed to whoever you with, that's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag. He was in the office talking about something. I need you to do something for me. I need your help or whatever. I need your help. Basically, keeping his promise, his commitment to Taylor. And that wasn't the only thing he said. I can't remember what else he said, but he said a whole lot. But yeah, they was just talking about that at first. Once again, Taylor was saying how she wants to move on. Sheila tried to talk to Dick, and she want him to come home, but he's still not ready. He wonders if Sheila's capable of lying again or whatever, and she was just trying to reassure him, but he over here talking about, so he got an appointment with Taylor, and she's like, well, it's a good thing, because I'm hoping that, you know, she can help you come back to me. I was like, girl, she gonna help herself to your man. Now, I don't know if they're gonna actually take it there, but that's what it look like. I said, Taylor, you may be in danger, girl. I thought she was going to tell Deacon about what she said, but, you know, it wasn't really a threat. It wasn't really a threat directed to her, but still. But what else? Let's see. I already said Sheila tried to talk to Deacon, wants him to come home. Deacon wonders if Sheila capable of lying again. Steffi asked Taylor if there's another man in her life, and she was like, no, she's not focused on anybody right now. She just focused on herself, her kids, her practice and stuff like that, saying she had a patient. Did I skip ahead? I may have skipped ahead. She said she had a patient or whatever, and there was Deacon. I was expecting Deacon to walk in while Steffi was there. But yeah, what else? Let's see. We already talked about Remy. Oh, the doctor comes in to see Luna. So she checking her out and telling about how bad the bruise is and asking her if she got hurt anywhere, because Luna started telling the doctor that she's not safe. She need help getting out before they hurt her baby or whatever. So she asked her if she got hurt anywhere else and stuff like that. So I don't know if she actually told her, because something led her to call Will. Something led her to call Will, and she just... I said, how's she able to get these people to do whatever she want? She just standing back there smiling, no crazy tale. But yeah, so she was like, she needed her. I'm afraid they gonna hurt my baby and stuff like. Don't the people be further along than that in jail, ain't it? I think they need to keep her in jail before she run around and hurt somebody else. Hold on. I said, Will better not talk to his dad or anybody else about helping get the girl out. I said, it's like they learn nothing. Somebody, some way or another, always end up getting hurt every time they get her released. I said, every time they get her released. They only got her released once. They only got her released once. But yeah, let's see where I stopped at. I already said Luna tells the doctor she not safe. She need help get out of there before they hurt her baby. Alicia and Will said in between them. Next thing you know, he gets a call from the doctor. I said, I don't think you're supposed to do that, do you? I said, you fool. But yeah, Luna was saying how she afraid she gonna lose the baby if she stays locked up or whatever. That's when the doctor on the phone calling Will or whatever. And he's like, he was asking her why she calling and stuff like that. Is the baby okay or whatever? To myself, I think you need to come see for yourself. I said, how? I said, what the world going on now? I said, how she just be getting these folks to do whatever she want. It don't matter. But yeah, that shows she was thinking about Deacon, but I don't think they went back to her. Taylor tells Deacon that Sheila came to see her after their last session or whatever, because he still hasn't made his mind up about whether or not he want to continue his marriage or not, and they was talking about that. And then I think he said something about Sheila, and she was like, oh, I know. And he was like, how do you know? And that's when she ends up revealing that, Sheila stopped by or whatever. And I was like, dang, no. She said that she ain't gonna let nothing or no one come in between her and Deacon or whatever, her and her husband. I was like, no. I said, tell him everything. But yeah, what else? I think the last thing is that Will stopped by. He was like, your face or whatever. You tell me he walked in. He was like, this just one little bruise. I said, it's just a little bruise. Nothing too bad. He walked in. I said, this fool already finna fall for her crap. I said, this fool already, he's as good as con. Now, I don't think that was the moment I said he is good as con. I think it was when he sat down and he was asking, was the baby okay and stuff like that. And she was trying to go around the question. But she was like, she okay or whatever. And she's just so happy he's there, and she need to get out of there because I don't think the stress good for the baby. And just trying to, and he just sitting up there. He made a face, the same face he was making when she walked out that bathroom at the Lee apartment or whatever. I said, look at this fool. I said, he is good as con. She got him. I don't know if he gonna talk to Bill or what, but I feel like they're gonna get her out. But I hope they got a plan. They could put her in isolation like somebody said, or somewhere else. But that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces.